I feel really important. Go, I'm sorry.
I feel really important.
With my own little desk.
Yeah. I mean, this is without Jay. You got your own little space over there. So that's
good.
well, a two-person podcast is perfect for this situation.
Is great. Go ahead. What were you saying? Bullshit.
No, it's just basically just saying I was in the same boat. Just having to deal with just dumb bullshit without getting into too much detail and having people who I may not want to hear here. Even though really the only person that wouldn't understand where I'm coming from is the person directly involved, which is my boss. But with that said, I guess here is this part 2 of Jay and Mark number 21. Jay's not here with us. He had to go. He had some shit to do, but
I'm still here.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably better. Sorry,
Jay.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's just better, like framing. It's just gonna
gets my good side more, I think. Too.
Yeah.
I think this is my good side.
It's a one-on-one here. So, sorry for all the Jay fans out there. Keep setting this one out. Yeah, we were pretty much just bitching about jobs and stresses in life and shit, and I guess the second part we'll probably just shoot the shit, you know what I mean?
There's a couple of things I'd like to talk about, which they might be a little controversial, but this is what this is for, though, you know?
Oh, people love controversy.
Yeah.
Prince wrote a song about it, shit. Controversy.
R.I.P. Prince.
Yes, rest in peace. You were the man. But yeah, what are these controversial topics you're speaking of?
Okay, so the first one I want to talk about, which I don't know if you want to talk about, we hadn't discussed it. When you sign on Facebook the last 2 weeks, when you get on Facebook, what do you see? What's the first thing you see all the time?
It's either some black guy got shot,
Correct.
Or somebody's playing Pokemon Go.
Correct. This has to change. We have to stop this.
I think all these people that are getting shot and or shooting people need to just play Pokemon Go, and then all these people playing Pokemon Go just need to get shot. I'm just kidding.
That is awesome, and that is the best thing ever. That's
kidding.
what should happen.
I'll be the first one to admit that I actually have Pokemon Go installed on my phone. I think it's a very cool game. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's a cool idea. It's like you're actually a Pokemon trainer catching Pokemon in the real world. Thing is, I don't have that kind of fucking time or effort to put forth to a game that is on something that you're supposed to just fucking sit on your couch and fuck around with.
Well,
kinda. I mean, it's mobile.
What a phone is they you can talk to people that aren't near you. Great invention. One of the best inventions ever.
Oh, no doubt.
And then they brought texting in. Another great invention.
Convenient as
hell. You don't have to talk to this person. Now you can just type to them.
Yep. And you can ignore them if you want to.
Yeah. I didn't get your text.
Yeah.
But now you're catching Pokemon with it, which they already made a game. It's called Pokemon Snap. I don't even know am I saying Pokemon right, or is it Pokemon?
I don't know. I think it's Pokemon.
I didn't play that shit. I don't know. I don't have any problem with people playing it if you're under the age of 18.
Yeah.
If you are, like you said, you have real shit to do.
If you're over the age of 18, you have real shit to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Under 18, you pretty much have no purpose in life. But
just to be your
But
age.
to grow up to you're 18 and hate life.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back, I made a post on Facebook that you commented on, and I tried to break it down as simple as possible because that whole day, and I don't get me wrong, I understand Facebook is there to get your opinion out.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great tool. It's a great invention. I'm happy it's there.
Agreed.
But I don't need to read about all this stuff all the time.
No.
Like, I get it. People are frustrated. I get it that the world is a crazy place, but how many posts can you make before people just get tired of it?
No, I understand. But at the same time, I feel like it's it's gonna pass just like everything else. Cavs won the championship. Oh, that's all you heard about for 2 weeks. You know, I think his name is Alton Sterling. I don't know what it is. Gets shot. Yeah. You hear about that for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. It's going to end eventually, you know what I mean? Until something else happens, you know? It's just the way it is. Star Wars comes out. You're going to hear about Star Wars for 2 weeks.
You're right. You're right.
Civil War comes out. You're going to hear about Marvel for 2 weeks. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, and there's been so many things that make it 2 weeks that I don't even remember half of them. And
no, you forget. It's here today, gone tomorrow, sort of deal, and in and out of your head.
But what I said on Facebook was, people that are breaking the law, stop doing it. Cops that are abusing their power, don't be a dick. Good people and good cops, keep doing what you're doing. No. And you know, I got a lot of likes on it. Whatever. I didn't do it for likes. I just tried to get my point across. That like, as you posting all this stupid shit, like, oh, you know, Black Lives Matter. Of course they do.
Yeah.
But we don't need it shoved down our throat. You're not doing anything. All you're doing is making it worse for everybody else.
Yeah, everybody's just perpetuating it. They're making it happen even more. And I mean, I understand people are outraged about stuff, which I'm outraged too. A lot of that shit is bullshit, but I think a lot of people jump to conclusions before most of the facts are even known about a lot of these things. I mean, I don't really follow it all that much, just because it's kind of a grim thing to follow.
It's terrible.
I mean, nobody wants this shit to happen, aside from maybe some of the people involved. But and I'm sure they're not all bad cops, you know what I mean? And they're just like they're not all criminals, but some of them are bad cops and some of them are criminals.
And go ahead.
Really, that's all I really had to say. Like, it's nothing new. It's just there's social networking now and live streaming.
Everybody has
a camera on their phone.
Back in the day, even 15 years ago, the camera we used for wrestling was on your shoulder. Mm-hmm. Nobody's carrying that shit around. Everybody has phones now.
Yep. And they're all in HD or close to HD. Like, you got a different angle for everything because this guy's doing it and that guy over there is doing it and 4 people behind you are doing it while you're doing it. Like, it's
and then you got some kid over in the corner playing Pokemon Go or whatever.
I mean, the one guy who was shot in his car, shot 4 times in the arm, basically shot his arm off, and then he bled to death because of that artery right there. His girlfriend or fiance or whatever was live streaming it on Facebook, which a lot of people was like, how could you do that at a time like that? Like, how could you not? Especially in this day, like, that's probably the smartest thing she could have done. They can't take that away from you. That's not there. That's permanently there. If anything else happened, it's right there to be seen. Like, it's smart, and it was heartbreaking. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't watch that one. Is that the one with the guy was by the car?
He was in the car. No, they pulled him over. He said, I guess he said that he had, and I don't know all the details, but he said that he had a permit to carry, and he said he was getting his registration out of his wallet, or getting something out of his wallet. He wasn't even getting his gun. The guy just shot him in the arm 4 times. Like I said, I don't know all the details.
But that's the thing. Nobody knows all the details. They only show. Not saying these guys were right, because they probably were wrong.
Yeah.
But nobody knows all the details. Like, I mean, I don't. You don't?
No. And most of the details don't come out until way later.
Yeah.
Way after.
When people stop caring about it.
When people have already jumped to conclusions and put their fucking foot in their mouth. Yeah. Like, but this guy had no. I guess the guy in New Orleans that was shot actually did have a criminal record and stuff like that. But the guy in the car,
clean,
was a fucking like school teacher or something, or did something. Like, he was just a normal dude, no criminal background, nothing. And the thing that was heartbreaking is at the end of the video, there was like a 9-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid or something in the background the whole time. This guy.
That's terrible. Just watch their dad die.
I don't know if it was his dad, but whoever, so that person that they knew really well, but the kid at the end was just like, it's okay, I'm here, and that shit was just like heartbreaking.
Ugh. See, I didn't watch that one.
But this dude is laying there dead, bleeding out, and the cop is still fucking pointing the gun at him the whole time. Like, I'm sure he's in shock. And
put your hands behind your back, like.
It's like, dude, I'm
dead.
Not even capable of that. Yeah.
It's just a sad world that it's turning into, and it's scary to raise. I have a daughter, and it's scary know that it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
And I have to race her through this, and it's like, she's only 3, so you don't have to explain anything to her. But in 10 years, you're going to have to. Like, this is what, you can't do this, and this is wrong. But
this is what happened. This is how it led to all this.
Yeah. And, it all... My biggest... I'm not upset that they're doing this. They're posting on Facebook. That's what it's there for, to voice your opinion. Mm-hmm. And we live in a great country that you can do that. You're allowed to do that. I'm hating how everything's turned into a race thing.
Yeah. The media is putting the people against each other.
And they're doing it on purpose.
Oh, no doubt. The social networking sites, every fucking news station, like, it's all just making it happen. It's just getting worse and worse because of all this shit. Because people are hearing this side of the story and this side of the story, and half this information isn't even true, or it's just speculation, or some dipshit said it and somebody
said it so somebody believes it.
Yeah, like it's
a snowball effect.
And all these videos you see are all of the very end of it. You don't see what led up to any of this. It's really hard what to think about any of this. Like, none of it really makes sense in the end. Like, it seems very simple, like you put it. Like, just stop. Like, how many? Like, do you remember growing up watching cops on TV?
Yeah.
And how many times, like, the people would literally be walking away from the cop, telling them to go fuck themselves. Like, no, I'm not going. The resisting arrest to the fullest, and the cop is just following them with the gun, like, not shooting them, not doing. Like, what happened to that shit?
I don't know if it's always been this way. It's just now that people are able to capture it on film.
I mean, that stuff, like, they're not going to show you the bad shit on cops, obviously.
They're going to show you
they're going to show you the good cops, you know what I mean? Yeah, and like I said, the internet is unfiltered. People could put whatever the fuck they want out there, and they're going to put the truth out there if it bothers them, you know what I mean? The
whole thing about cops grouping everybody, like saying, fuck all cops. Well, that's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not. It's like saying fuck all white people, fuck all black. You can't do that because everybody's different. And I have friends of all colors and very close friends, and and it's like, it's almost it's not building a tension between us, but it's like, because I hang out, I see these people every day, I train with them.
Yeah.
I understand where they're coming from, but they, you got some guys that are on board with, like, fuck the cops. They're, and I don't know what these people are going through, so I don't, their opinion is their opinion. But then I'm thinking, like, it's okay to be mad at a certain cop. It's okay to be mad at a certain criminal, but you can't lump all cops into this category.
Yeah, they're not all guilty by association. Like, that's like my brother committing a crime and I'm a fucking asshole too, or something.
Yeah. Or, his brother committed a crime, so he's an asshole.
He's a fucking criminal as well.
Yeah, he's a criminal too. No, that's not how it works.
There's bad people and there's good people, and they're all different colors and races.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's there's always going to be racist people, and as bad as it sounds, it's their right to be racist. But I don't agree with it.
I mean, racism is basically an opinion, and everybody has the right to opinion. It's just not all opinions are good opinions.
To keep it in their house.
Yeah, keep it to themselves. Don't let it hurt anybody.
Exactly. Don't let it affect anybody. If you want to have your protest, don't have it on a highway, shutting down the whole fucking highway, because I have to get to work.
Yeah, no, that shit is ridiculous. And if you get hit by one of those people, those people are not responsible for that whatsoever.
Exactly.
You're on the highway. Like,
you're on the
most
highway.
Dangerous shit. Like, the only more dangerous place you could be is an even worse highway, like the Autobahn or some shit. Like that.
Exactly. Like, what are you guys doing? Protesting. And then you got the other, you see all these hate groups, mostly white guys, and it's like, keep that shit in your house, because you're putting...
Or write a book or something. Or
do something.
Have a blog.
Yeah. Make a
express
podcast.
yourself. express your negative feelings in a way that we don't have to fucking know if we don't want to.
Stop marching down the street telling me what I should. No, just stop.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen. You know, you got another thing. Another big thing that was on Facebook is the gun laws.
Yeah.
Some people say get rid of all guns. Some people say you should have 5,000 guns.
Really, the guns have nothing to do with it. It's the people involved with the guns.
The guns won't shoot. You can set a gun on a table, and I swear it won't kill one person.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
The first time I put it in my hand, I have the power to kill somebody. Yep. So I believe people are allowed to have guns. I'm not against people that don't think that's their opinion. That's great.
Yeah.
But I also don't think people need to have 5,000 guns in their house.
No.
When they wrote the Constitution, they didn't think that we were going to have these high-powered rifles and all that, you know. So when
they wrote the Constitution, they were separating themselves from a fucking nation that was trying to control them. So when they wrote you have the right to bear arms, they were talking about you have the right to protect yourself from your government. That's what it's for. And everybody talks about how like that's the most ridiculous thing ever, as if Hitler never existed, or all this crazy like governments haven't been fucking terrible forever
since the start of government.
Like that's the most ridiculous thought ever. Like the government, they genuinely believe the government actually gives a shit about it.
No, they don't. That's what it all comes down to, really. Is, and you don't have to agree with me. Nobody has to agree with me. It's not a war against white versus blacks versus Mexicans. No, it's us versus them. Yep. The government.
They are perpetuating this to separate us, to make us so we will kill each other, so they don't have to kill us.
Yep. It's getting bad. It really is, and
it's obvious. Every time something like this happens, it just clicks in my mind. It's like this is exactly what's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody's just falling for it, and they're all perpetuating this dumbassery. You know what I mean?
Ignorance. It's somebody else's fault, but no, it's not. It's
all our faults because we're falling.
We're falling for their problem. You know, their trick. They're sitting back going, "It's working, awesome."
Yeah, it was like, oh shit, this is easier than I thought. Yeah.
So they control all the media, they control all that shit, and it's like if this would have happened 2 years ago, I'd have been like, I don't give a shit. Who cares? But now I'm like, I'm getting a little bit older, and I'm looking and I'm saying, this ain't right. Mm-hmm. This doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. It's just pisses me off.
Well, something that strikes me is Hillary Clinton was under investigation and was actually like going to trial for
the email thing.
Yeah. And it was all happening at the same time this shit was going down. Like,
isn't that kind of funny?
And it kind of just, almost like we kind of just glanced over it. We just skimmed right over the Hillary Clinton being a fucking lying criminal-ass bitch with our own community shit. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, nobody even...
Something that's bigger than Hillary Clinton. Like... They're making all the focus on this and saying
it's a distraction.
Oh yeah,
it's a distraction, just like everything else. Like any dude. If you go back over, probably forever, if you think about it, at least for a long time. But if you go back over the last few years, every time there was like a natural disaster or some kind of crazy shit going on here, or I don't want the Confederate flag, and it's some dumb bullshit that like just seemed to come out of nowhere. Like, there was always something else that was happening, too. That was even a bigger deal than this. That more people should be outraged about that shit than this or that. Or Caitlyn Jenner becoming a chick.
That was fucking insane.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, it's the first fucking person to have a sex change. Fucking A.
It was a suit. I mean, I get it. The fucking Kardashians are still the biggest celebrities for some fucking reason. I don't know. But... It was a distraction, and they were like, okay, this is happening right now, so let's just throw it down everybody's throat, and then we can do this without...
And then they won't even notice that this shit's happening. Yep.
Yeah, we'll fuck something up. But,
yep.
Dude, it's just like I said, there's going to be a lot of people that think I'm wrong about my opinion. That's fine. I'm happy that... Because I don't know everything. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't claim to be.
No, but I mean, you're just like everybody else. You can only take what you're given. and think of it as logically as you possibly can.
I see everything, and I'm looking and
try to make sense of that shit.
Yeah, it's hard, but I hope. What's the next thing gonna be? You can't tell. You don't know, but
it's like you shouldn't even bother worrying about this because you're just gonna have to worry about something 2 weeks in a couple weeks. That's something completely different, and somehow deep down it's related, but it's not related. It's all just.
I'm sure if you could go back, there's a lot of people that think 9/11 was an inside job. There's lots of there's lots of facts to point in that direction.
I'm one of those people, sir.
I am too. I was just going to ask.
Cool. I didn't want to say anything because I hate having that conversation because I hate people making me feel like I'm fucking wrong.
You're wrong.
I know that, dude, you don't even know what the fuck you're really talking about.
Do you work for the government? No.
I think this for a reason.
Yeah.
I looked this shit up. I found information that I just couldn't make sense of. I'm not just spouting this shit because I think it's cool because obviously I'm going to get shit for thinking this.
Yep.
But dude, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't know who did it. But I.
What's the thing?
The more I learn about, the more I think that shit just didn't happen that way.
It's hard to believe. It's very hard to believe. But kind of, we're just bullshitting. So it's kind of fun. But,
it is. I like it. We don't get to do this anymore.
No. What was it? I'm probably gonna botch the name, but Building 6?
Building 7.
7. What the fuck? How are you gonna show me that and me go, that makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense to me. Why did that building go down?
Yep, you can forget every other piece of fucking damning evidence against whoever it was that did this shit. You can forget all about that. Just chalk it out the window. Building 7 is enough right there to be like, okay, something happened here.
Something's up here.
This ain't the way we think it is at all.
And what do they call people? Conspiracy theorists and stuff?
Yeah.
I guess I am one because every time they bring me facts and I'm like, well, it's hard to not Sandy Hook. If it really happened the way they said it was,
yeah,
tragic.
No.
It's heartbreaking. But then stories start getting changed and it's like, wait a minute. Did anything really happen?
Dude, I know. No. And I mean, it's gun control, dude. All this shit. Not all of it, but a lot of it is just to be able to make things easier to control. I heard a lot of shit about Sandy Hook, too. I watched a lot of videos, read a lot of articles and stuff, and that shit, a lot of that shit you saw on TV wasn't even at Sandy Hook. Yep. It was 2 miles away down the street.
A different school, wasn't it? Or a different building?
That shit, it was like a fucking, they were shooting a TV show.
That's exactly what they were doing.
It was a set. There was fucking catering and shit. There was all kinds of stuff.
Do you remember? I don't know because
I don't know the facts. I didn't follow it that much, but everything I've seen, there's a lot of questions there that people just don't even give a shit about.
Because I was working nights at the time, and so during the day I was watching the news. I was like, oh my god! And at the time you're thinking this is legit. This is true. This is this is the first one.
Because it's like wrestling. They make it out. It's kayfabe. You know what I mean? Yep. It's fucking kayfabe. It's something fake they're trying to portray to be real.
Because if you watch the news in the morning compared to at night, things were left out. They just stopped talking about things. There was 2 gunmen. Oh, no, there was just this one now. There was a guy. Remember there was a clip of a guy running through the woods early on in the day?
Yep.
Who was that?
There is video footage on TV of one of the parents of these children that died, right? And it's the footage leading up to right before they started airing it on television. And this guy has papers in his hand. He's talking to people. He's laughing.
Is that the guy that was laughing? And then he gets up to the mic.
He goes up in the mic, and then all of a sudden he's devastated. Just prior to that, dude couldn't have gave a shit less. If your child had just died,
not going on the news,
laughing, you would not be crying, you would not be going on the news.
No.
Maybe if you were outraged or something, but immediately after, no.
If that happened the way they said it happened, and that was my child in the building, I would probably be dead too. I mean, that's how you feel for your child. Like, I couldn't do it.
It's like you just lost everything. Your whole world.
Absolutely.
Why even live?
Nothing in this world means anything besides your children.
Yep.
I mean,
complete game changer.
Having a kid or kids, complete, change the way you think, the way you act.
People will give up everything they worked for their whole life because of their kid.
Yep.
At the drop of a hat.
And I've seen that too. The guy getting up to the mic and he was smiling, laughing, and I'm like, wait a second.
And then like, okay, you're on. He thinks of when his girlfriend broke up with him in high school, and then there you go, dude. Just like that shooting of the news reporters and stuff.
That was fake.
It made no sense. It made no sense at all.
It hits the news hard for a couple days, and then people like us, but I'm not saying like me, but guys that believe stuff like us, and then they take it to the next step. This shit doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then it's nowhere to be found. You can't hear about it. They don't talk about it anymore.
Nope. And that's another thing with like the girl's dad and her secret boyfriend that nobody knew about. Went on every fucking news channel and talked about it hours after it happened. Like 2-3 hours after it happened, they were on every news station. They were so devastated. The guy had a fucking like one of those photo books like people make, like scrapbooks and
Scrapbook,
shit,
yeah.
just ready to go, like this is all this stuff, all like saying the same thing on every fucking news station. Like basically he's just like, yep, I got a hot girl and nobody knew about it. Like just, and the dad, turns out that guy is an actor. He actually is an actor. He's been in like plays, he's been in commercials and shit. Like it is the guy. I've seen the actual like commercials and pictures of him in play. It is him to a T. Like people, and I mean, no wonder people are fucking falling for this shit, because they're making it. The people doing this shit know what they're doing. Like they've gone to school for like subliminal messaging, which that shit is real.
That is very true. There's no reason kids should like Barney and all these kids. There has to be something in there. I watched something
McDonald's
on that.
has red, yellow, and white as their colors and shit because those are the most appealing colors to children. Like all kinds of stuff, dude. Like there's things in ads you don't even notice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even notice at all.
But your brain picks it up.
When somebody shows you that it's there, it's, how did I not see that? It's ridiculous, dude, what they do.
Very, very smart people that are tricking all the... And these people this is just, this is how I feel about it. These people they believe all this stuff are the same ones that did everything in school the right way. They believed everything the teacher said. Then you had assholes like us that were like, no.
Like, sorry, I think that's bullshit.
That's not... Our history books. History is my favorite subject in school. Loved it.
Yeah.
But what I'm reading this history book probably isn't what really happened.
Oh, that's saying history is written by the victors is totally true.
Yeah.
Totally true.
Imagine
what the history books would say if fucking Hitler won the war, you know what I mean?
Or like they say, who was it, Russia? They were our allies in the World War II. In their history books, they say they're the reason they won the war.
Mm-hmm.
And ours, it's us.
In Ireland, there's a guy I talked to for a little while from Ireland that they're taught the Illuminati is real in school.
It is.
It is, for sure. There's like, and there's so many names for it and all this, like, this shit. Everybody thinks of this rappers fucking each other idea of Illuminati, and they just write this shit off. But like, they don't look at like the JFK assassination, which everyone widely, like, more people believe that was a conspiracy than believe that fucking what's his name shot him or whatever. I can't remember his
Booth?
name. No, that was Lincoln.
Oh, that was Lincoln.
It was James Earl Ray.
Yeah.
Everybody, which they killed that motherfucker before he could even testify. That is widely regarded to be a conspiracy. Like, that's almost fact at this point. But yet, everything else is just bullshit somehow. I don't get it.
Same way with, remember it wasn't too long ago. The Boston bombing.
Yeah,
Boston
a couple
Marathon
years
bomb?
ago. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the best movie I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah,
I
dude.
watched for 3 days. And
That
I'm
was
like,
Die
this
Hard.
is fucking sweet.
we had weren't they Russians?
They were Middle East. I don't remember.
They were like they were Eastern Europe, like far Eastern, like Czechoslovakian.
Something like that.
It was fucking Die Hard, dude. It was a
cool.
Die Hard movie.
And like I said, it really happened. Like, I mean,
Well, you know what was happening while that was happening?
Huh.
Oil floods in like Oklahoma or Kansas or something.
Oh.
Entire cities were being flooded in oil because all the pipelines were bursting underneath this neighborhood.
I'm sure
You could see parody, like there's is news footage of like no local news coverage.
Yeah.
Nobody saw this shit.
Yeah, because the Boston.
But there's actually videos on YouTube where they'll show this news footage and then they edit in like sponsorships by Kleenex because they're literally telling people to buy fucking like local news people are telling them to buy like paper towels and shit like that to help soak up the oil around, and it's just so ridiculous. But while all that Boston shit was happening, a town in Oklahoma or somewhere in like
Probably Oklahoma or
Middle
Texas.
America was being fucking flooded with oil. And that shit is true. Like, anybody who's doubting me on that, look it up.
I'm gonna have to look.
It was
up
like
now.
right around that same time, dude. I think that was what it was. That was happening during some major.
I'm
like,
sure there
thing
was
that
something
happening.
going on.
But I think it was the
Just
Boston
like
bomb.
all the police brutality with Hillary and, something all the time.
Yep.
And,
Don't even get me started on Hillary. I'm not a Trump fan by any means, so don't get me started on Hillary.
well,
I don't like either one of
right
them.
now you're picking the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately,
Is Donald Trump.
can't. Yeah. That's the only conclusion I can come to, because at least that guy's, like, just dumb, and that's why Hillary Clinton's doing all this shit for a reason.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I don't talk. I've said this. I've known this for a long time. I don't talk to people unless they're my really good friends and we're not drinking.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people about politics.
Open-minded people is who you need.
Yes. Money or religion, because I've witnessed it many times. One person thinks this way, the other person thinks this way, and they fight, and they're arguing, and they're talking. They're making their points. It's great. They're never going to convince this person, and this person's never going to convince this person. So what the fuck is the reason about? You're just wasting breath at this point.
All you're doing is ruining a friendship.
Friendship, or some guy. Yeah, potential.
Until tomorrow, when you guys are like, I don't even know why we were doing it.
I was drunk.
Like, you're ruining people's time.
But even when you're sober, you hear buttholes talk about stuff, and you're like, I'm sure there's going to be people that listen to this that they're like, I don't agree with anything these guys are saying, but that's fine. That's cool. Whatever.
You can laugh at us. At least you're watching. Thank you. But you made it this far. Hell. You went to part 2. Shit. But no, I couldn't agree more. And then you always have those stubborn motherfuckers that do it just to piss you off.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people I want to fight. Because like, you're just like creating negativity in this world. Like, you are creating hate. You are making me hate you purely to make me hate you.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Just because
be a
they
dickhead.
there's just some people that are evil.
They get off on that shit. Those people are evil.
They are.
Trump supporters.
It's like, this is the first election that
I'm sure not all Trump supporters are
registered to
assholes.
vote, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
I've never been registered to vote just because I'm one of those people that feel like it's pointless. Like, whoever they want to be in, who'd be the president is going to be the president. That's why Hillary Clinton had absolutely no consequences for that fucking huge crime she committed of treason. That was treason, dude.
Which I'm even shocked that they even released that.
Yeah, and I actually saw a meme of the guy who made the final judgment call, the judge or whatever. I don't know who it was, but it was a meme of him like making the announcement that we find her, not guilty. He basically said, she's guilty as hell at the top. It's like, but I don't want to die suddenly and mysteriously. And I was like, that is exactly what happened too. They were just like, well, we can't put her away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody like that, they don't go to jail.
Not only that, but who do you think would step up to the plate and be a serious contender for the fucking presidency? Bernie fucking Sanders. He would have one foot in the door if that shit happened. That's what would happen. And at least, I don't agree with everything that guy says, but at least he's being honest about shit.
He does sound like he's being honest, but is he getting fed this shit? Hey, say this. Say this.
I don't know. Because the biggest argument people have for Trump is that nobody can filter him or stop him from saying or doing what he wants with his campaign because he's funding it all. But the guy is going fucking bankrupt doing it. And I'm sure he has tons of assets. Like, he's not losing all his money.
No.
He could sell the building or sell property or some shit, and he would be right back on track.
He's never going to not... Like, you know, they say his business
He's been bankrupt like 11 times or something like that.
So what?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, once you're independently wealthy, you're always independently
You're going to
wealthy.
be, yeah.
Because if you're independently wealthy, you obviously know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he's smart when it comes to business and shit. And he might have a couple cool things to do for the country, but other than that, he just makes us look fucking awful.
He does.
And I disagree with 90% of what he says.
It might start a World War III. We don't know. But he might get in office and be like, I was bullshitting. I'm not really going to do it.
I just wanted to get here. I'm just going to do exactly
I'm
what
not
everybody else
building
wanted
no wall.
me to do.
I'm
I'm basically
not
Hillary
anybody.
Clinton.
Yeah. So.
Well, you happy, Scott? We finally talked politics and shit.
I don't know you, Scott.
He's my half brother. But,
oh.
Yeah, no, he always leaves. He's like one of the only people to comment on the shows and give us suggestions. And I always tell him we're not really political, which is mostly because I do have political views. I just don't like to argue with people about them.
And I can see we see eye to eye a lot.
In most cases, yeah, it seems like that. I mean, we didn't get into big detail.
No,
it seems like we kind of have the same.
That's about as in detail as
worries.
I get because I don't watch the news.
Yeah,
all the information I get is from these crazy Facebook people.
Yeah, I'll read like news sites that I kind of value their opinion because they seem a little more credible and they're kind of just giving you the facts. But those are few and far between. It's hard to tell sometimes.
I think if they gave 100% facts, everybody would live in fear, though. You'd be like, holy shit, the world is crazier than we ever thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I get how I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like, I understand, but
it's hard to understand.
Yeah, it's very hard. They make it that way, so it's like, and then you got these other people that think they're like gurus at it, and it's like, you only know what they tell you, so why don't you just calm down?
Yep, you only know what Fox News or CNN or whoever, whatever this company owns station is
that you like to watch,
which they wrote for you to like. They're basically telling you what they want you to think.
That was my point. Was the people that never questioned anything, always did what they were supposed to do. Those are the people that are being told. And they believe it right off the rip. Oh, no. 9/11 wasn't a conspiracy.
No.
Okay.
Even though you put absolutely no effort into even seeing it.
It's just what they said.
Yeah.
It's what they said.
Yeah. Because if they really gave a shit and actually tried to see what actually happened, they would see that really none of it makes any damn sense. And you would just be even more confused about what happened after reading the official report of these things.
The world just needs to get their shit together. As people.
They just need to get their damn priorities straight. They need to figure out what's actually important and what is not important at all. Which I'm sure I value things that are very, as you can tell, looking at there's so much.
I wasn't going to say it.
Only really is cool to me or people like me, but like, I mean, they do have monetary value. You know what I mean? Like this, in a way, a lot of this bullshit around here is somewhat. I could get some of my money back.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's what you like.
It's in the end, it doesn't matter. It doesn't help the world or anything. Like it's all shit that is pointless. But I like it.
It is pointless on the big view of things, but you have to enjoy some parts of life too. It all can't just be work and being miserable.
And we'd all be putting fucking shotguns in our mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. That's why we have days off. Because if we didn't have days off, nobody would go to work because they'd all be fucking dead.
Yeah. There would be nobody left.
Everybody needs a damn break, man.
Yeah, that's true. I do like money though.
Yeah. It was a good conversation, Jeffy.
Yeah.
I think that might be a good point to cut us off here.
Sounds good to me. I don't think I think we're done.
Yeah, no,
Finished.
I think we got it all out. Until next time.
I feel better now.
No, yeah. You voiced your opinion. People, it's going to be heard by at least 40 to 60 people, if not more, because you're on.
Wow.
So
I got 40 to 60 or more people telling me I'm a dumb idiot.
Yes. Welcome to the club, sir.
Yes.
I've been there for almost a year now. Well, my whole life, if you really think about it. But digitally and on the internet, almost a year now. Coming up in September. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed number 21. Jeffy, you need to come back again, sir.
Had fun, like always.
Yeah, don't forget to hook Jared up with Ronda Rousey in the future when you make it.
If I must, I will.
Cool. Just remember, I didn't ask you for anything, sir. All right.
You'll be in the posse, though.
Nice.
The posse. I'm not calling them an entourage. They're the posse.
No, it's too much like a Mark Wahlberg thing. But yeah. Until next time. I am Mark, and this is J. Hughes, a.k.a. Jeff Lights Out Hughes.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
See ya.